This video will show you how to write your research paper's background section. It's the second section after the introduction. When you go to write your background, you'll go to our Google Classroom and you will click Classwork, and there you'll see the research project heading. Go down to the second part of the paper. The first part was write your research paper's introduction. Now you're going to write your research paper's background. When you click the assignment, you'll see this video, which will show up later, as well as that sample introduction and background paper, and then the background itself. This is where you're going to type it. You'll click it, and it says here you'll need at least 60 words. When you type your background, you just type right over these words, and that way it'll be formatted just right. When you're done, you'll go over here, and I don't have it because I'm not a student, but you'll see a big turn in button. That's what you'll click when you're done. Anyway, back at our research project section on our Google Classroom classwork page, you'll see the sample introduction and background. Click that again. When you see it, go down to the part where the background begins, which I've highlighted here, and it talks about what a background is for. It goes over the key events in the story behind your case. It's different than the intro, which is there to just get the reader's attention. Now, you're still not going to tell the reader what you want, but you're going to tell the reader what some of the background is. And you can use some of these starters, like how do we get to this place, or some background in whatever your topic is would help. And then there's a sample background. I'm going to make another background now for you by going to that same issues and controversies site and typing in your keywords again to find your article. Once I get to my school uniforms page, I'm going to look down and find the background information. Underneath the main headline, I start to see a summary which talks about what the supporters and the opponents think. I can pretty much look just at the beginning of each paragraph and see that it's not quite yet the background. The background usually starts after a big heading, like here. Uniforms become more common in U.S. public schools. I start to see dates, things like that, and that's the kind of thing that makes up a good background. Here is some information about what happened in Washington, D.C. when the mayor in the 1980s found that the Catholic schools, which were better performing than the public schools, had uniforms. And then here's a success story about Long Beach, California. Their switch to uniforms resulted in fewer fights, less crime, fewer suspensions, less vandalism. Things were going very well, which led President Clinton at the time to put out a manual telling the rest of the country how to do it. And this chart shows that after Clinton's initiative, a full 20% of the public school students in the United States are wearing uniforms, at least as of 2012. So, when I go to make my background, I'm going to put it in my own words, and I've done that over here. You can see that it's not the same words that I read. In various United States public school systems, school uniforms are starting to take off. It's different than over here. School uniforms have long been a trademark of private and parochial schools in the United States. I skipped the Washington part because I was more intrigued with Long Beach. So use your own words. That way you won't get in trouble when we check it against the internet. That's it. Now you know how to write your research paper's background section. If you need any help, please see me or Mrs. Valor. Thanks.